Motown Magic. Motown Magic. Motown Madness family, we back, man. We just gonna catch you up, man. We here for a good time, not a long time. We had a little bit of talk about that right before we got on air, man. We had to talk through that. Had to give you something. So look, you already know Marcel B the MC here, catching up with Coach T, right? And
What up, though?
you know one thing, we hear from the Motown Sports Dad podcast, right? And we talk about like just different things and catching natural elements. We're both
Yep.
sports dads, so at any given
hmm
time, you may see Tarmel's, the small baby running through the scene. You might hear my doorbell. You just heard the ring go off. We're dads. Like this is a real thing, right? So we're
Right,
doing this in the
right, right,
midst of
right.
being dads. So
Absolutely.
just to set that bar and expectation. But look, we're gonna hop right in, bro. We're gonna
Yep,
hop right
yep.
in.
Come on, let's go.
You almost just had to fire a family. Walk us through that.
Yeah, man. So that's a wild way to put it. You know what I'm saying? But the end of the day, everybody don't fit the fabric.
Hmm.
Everybody's not gonna move the way that you move and your program move, and it's okay. You know, but some people need to be shown, or they need to learn the way you move, and if they can embrace it, then that's an even better story or testimony, if you will. You feel me? And so, more or less, it was an opportunity to feel insulted as a coach, or opportunity to love the way I have never had to love before, to move forward with an exceptional, talented young man.
Nice.
And after talking with God for show, and talking to my coaches, we kind of settled on let's figure out how to move forward. So it was it was a cultural conversation with the parents. Come to find out, we were really on the same page. At the end of the day, it just took a little more conversation, and for them to be exposed to, our brand. The way we love on each other, the way we push each other, the way we challenge each other. And so I wasn't sure if that was going to fly this time around. It was one of the first times I ever felt like that. And so, as you get bigger, man, and I'm gonna make sure this don't run long, but
For
as you
sure.
get bigger, as your program expands, you're gonna have all kind of different walks of life come to the table, different kind of experiences,
Sure.
people who are bosses in their own right, people who are talented and exceptional in their own light. And so you're gonna have to learn how to grow and get uncomfortable sometimes. But not to sound cliche, but the answer is always love. That's the answer. Even if you got to walk away,
Love
you
that.
know, I,
Love that.
even if you got to walk away, still I want to see you happy, even if it's not with me.
Ah, that's crazy. So look,
So,
um, because of course, we talked about this before now, right? We've talked
yep,
about this. I want you to
yep,
tell people. So we're gonna get into some tips and approaches for folks that we can share. But I want you to share that after making it through those tough conversations and coming to an agreement, keeping the family in the organization, how
yep.
did that show up for the young man in the game that following weekend? What happened? Walk us through that.
Well, because he's so special. I'm just gonna say it. It was Elvis, right? So
Yeah,
Elvis is he's an amazing player, man. And I told his parents, and I stand by this. I think he can be the number one player in the state and his age bracket if you get with the right program start now.
wow.
Um, because he just got all the intangibles. He just needs to learn to win, and that's a that's a personality thing. That's not if you can just put the ball in the hoop. It's who you are on the bench. It's who you are as soon as you walk in the gym, right? And so um, I had some great conversations with both his mom and his dad, and uh, by the next practice, he was detail oriented. He was there. He was mobbing out, man. I'm talking about giving all effort.
Nice.
So that was Friday, and through the weekend, he just went nuts, bro. He put the program on his back and did what we know he can do, and definitely, like we was running the ISOs for him. He was just killing cats, bro, left and right, right, to the point where Vart. Now remember, this is seventh, eighth grade. I
Right.
had varsity coaches walking up to me that was there, high school varsity coaches, asking me for him, right now, KC all day, Crusader. You know what I'm talking about? But you know, his mom
CT
worked for
dogs,
Cass.
CT
And,
dogs,
you know, so
CT
his
dogs.
the mom worked for Cass. So I'm telling him like, look, she right there. You gonna have to talk to her. But I think he gonna be a technician. But this kid 8th grade,
Yeah,
varsity coaches, you
yeah.
know, coming to me
He
like, how
going
do
to
I get
cast.
him?
No, he going to cast. It's happening. We getting another
You
dog
know,
on the way.
hey,
Um,
look, it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, man, I mean, he put on a show and he was being recruited.
nice.
Now
So
he could have not have been there, you know, but you know, the way God worked, he still would have caught a string, but it wasn't
yep,
going to be in that moment,
yep,
right? But
yep.
instead, we made it through. We became family that weekend.
Nice.
Now they're Motown Magic.
Yeah, love that. My one of
Yeah,
the favorite parts that you told me about the whole thing is the fact that your son called the ISO for Alvis, right? You
yep,
know, because
yep,
you reach those programs where you feel like the coach may be showing favoritism if their son plays for the team, and the fact that your son called the ISO for him, and he dominated from there. That's like one of my favorite stories from the Motown Magic so far, especially how it
yeah.
started to where it ended.
Shout out to TJ. Shout
Yeah,
out to
tease.
TJ, man,
Yeah, man.
because
True.
because because he have to be selfless. Um, I bag him all the time to show off his bag, and it's just not something he want to do right now because he's literally an extension of me on the court.
Yeah.
He want to see other people win. He wants to win. He want to see other people shine, and he wants to win. And so he looked at me and he called. He said, "Dad, let's call Elvis' number." I said, "You call it. You on the flow, call it."
Right.
And he called it. He called it. Elvis Cook, bro.
That's dope,
Cook.
man. True floor general. So, real quick tidbit for coaches and organizations that deal with trouble or difficult moments with families. What's the best way to approach it? What's I know you said love, right? But
Yep.
practically, right? What are a couple steps they can take to either get on the same page or reach an agreement that there needs to be a splitting of the ways?
Yeah. So number one is never let emotion rule,
Love that.
because especially when we're competing. Um, you know, it might be too late. You might be past the let me see if you're a good match for us on paper, or the requirements and criteria so that we can do the proper screening. And you might be in a game situation and things start to unfold. So once you start seeing red flags, it's one or two things you can do with red flags. You can figure if you're gonna work through them, or you can be like, okay, we gonna make sure we don't go that way, right?
Facts.
And so either way, let's wait until let's have a cooling period. Um, don't try not to have conversations when you upset or intense or just too happy, too sad or too happy. Just make sure you're ready to have a conversation. Um, it should definitely be a conversation with the parents. I can't stress this enough. Choose parents, not kids.
Hmm.
um, and then kind of talk about your values and what's important to you, and you know if they can understand it, and your requirements. So everybody got values, but what's your requirements? What cross are you willing to die on, right? Like, what's mandatory? What are you not gonna have? Like, one of the things I told Elvis is, if you're not gonna make it to practice, I want you to tell me that. I don't want to hear it through your parents. I want you to reach out.
For sure. Yeah, we
You know what I'm
raising young
saying?
men,
Like,
raising young men.
yeah, yeah. I want you to tell me why you're gonna miss the moment.
Yep.
Because you're gonna be mad at me when I don't play you, right? And so I want you to make sure you got to accept responsibility for your own consequences. And sometimes you can't make it. I couldn't make it last Saturday. I was in Ohio at a tournament. So, um, sometimes it happens. But the short answer of it is watch the emotion, minimize that, and have real clear and honest conversations with the parents first, you know, and then bring the kid in. That's
Super
what I
dope.
think. And
Dope.
if you gotta walk away, tell them thank you. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you consider this program or that program. I mean, really, it should really be a, you know, if you can get it to a mutual space, that'd be great.
Yep. You know what I thought of? You gotta know when to hold 'em.
Know when to fold them.
Know
Know
when
when to
to
walk.
walk away.
Hey man, that's my jam, bro.
Yeah, man. So that's super dope. So you just actually hinted on that. Your last weekend. Let's get into it because
Yeah.
you had a full weekend. So walk us through everything that you did last weekend.
Yep. So we went to Rossford, Ohio, which I never heard before,
Me
but
either.
it's right outside of Toledo. We went to Total Sports facility. So Dion plays. He plays baseball. Baseball is his primary sport.
Hmm.
So very very excited for his season to get underway. So now we're doing like indoor tournaments. So we went out there for an indoor tournament, and it was just a great time. Total Sport, shout out to Total, man. They're doing some amazing things for the kids. I mean, I'm walking through this big facility out in Ohio because we play for them here. Um, but I'm walking through their facility, and these kids are got hitting training, pitching training, probably 4 soccer games going on, and
Wow.
then they got 2 baseball games going on at the same time. One facility,
Wow. Yeah, that's a
so
lot.
it was dope. It's a lot. It's a lot. We lost in the semis
Wow.
by 1 point, so it was a long ride home, to say the least.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was a great time.
So what's dope about that is I talked to Bubs right before we got on air here, and I asked him, Dion, I asked him what was his one takeaway from that tournament and losing. And he said,
Yep.
to not leave the game in the hands of the umpire, right? And when you got a kid that age understanding that concept, um, he's gonna go a long way just by getting that. So all the kids out there and the parents, don't let the kids leave the game in the hands of the ref. If they do that, more than likely they're gonna lose the game. So you always want to leave it all on the line, give it everything you got, and execute at an all time high level. If you execute at a high level, then the ref doesn't have to make a judgment call. It's pretty clear. So what else? So you being at the tournament doing baseball, right? You got a
Yep.
basketball
Yep.
program back in Michigan. So
Happening at
so
the same time. So
yep,
Coach Adam, shout out to my man, Coach Adam. I'm always gonna give respect where it's due. So I'm always shouting my people out that's holding me down, man.
no
So
doubt.
so Coach Adam back home at Greg Grant, whooping on our rivals at the same time. You know what I
Nice.
mean? Knocking them
Okay.
out the box, knocking them out the box. Gave him that 20 piece. Pop, take that with you.
Yeah, man. I told you, man. We're gonna have to press charges against the Motown Magic for beating these teams like they've been doing,
You
man.
know what though? I'm telling you right now, we got some heat coming down the pipeline.
Oh yeah.
This week. Today's Friday, so we got practice tonight. So tonight I'm gonna be working on some stuff, some high intensity transition stuff, like getting back fast, bro. Because these horses we about to go up against. So our rivals ain't our rivals no more. Y'all done. Y'all out of here. So we got some new ones coming up now, and boy, they ain't playing.
So
We didn't
what's the
graduated.
What
Go
that's
ahead.
that's going to ask. What's the difference between the level of competition last weekend versus this weekend from your assessment?
So we play 7th, 8th in league play. So in tournament we play 7th only right now.
Okay. Okay.
And in league play, we play 7th, 8th because a lot of times they don't have enough teams to do this for 4 or 5 weeks. So they mix two grades.
Yep.
So you end up being on the older side or the younger side. So right now we really on the younger side, real talk, and we killing them like this.
Mm-hmm.
But the where we at in our schedule, these teams we about to play for the next few weeks, they're on the older side,
Nice.
And so for them, puberty is a real thing. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like they all look like they drove. They all got facial hair. Nobody got haircuts.
Right.
You know what
Tattoos.
I'm saying? Look like they sacrificed their haircuts for their kids. It's like these grown men, bro. You know what I'm saying? They ain't
Right.
running no. Hey, they ain't running no plays. They just fast breaking, coming down, dropping it off.
Just paid a
You
light
know,
bill right before they got there.
you know what I'm saying? Like they trying to get up out of here. The
Right.
car's still running outside. Their baby mama out there waiting for them. I'm like, yo, bro,
Right.
this is not 8th grade.
They
I
they
mean,
they calling your kids little bro.
little bro calling me unc. You know what I'm saying? Like they grown, dude. So I'm like, all right.
Right.
So yeah, so we're gonna have to get ready for them horses. They coming.
No doubt,
They
man. No
coming. They
doubt.
coming. So the strength, we got to be. They're gonna be stronger. They're gonna be faster. I just think in the end, hopefully we're, you know, well coached, and we got organization on our side.
Cool. So we know you're playing a level up this weekend.
Yep.
Good luck this weekend to you and the
Yep.
program.
For sure.
The parents, as you prepare the parents, by the time they see this, it's probably going to be after the games,
Mm-hmm.
on during your weekly newsletter, right,
Yep.
and
Yep.
blog. But
Yep.
to get them familiar with how you're going to be playing a level up, what's one thing you can tell your parents and all the parents that got their kids playing up as far as judging? Because I told you about MJ playing 18-year-olds, he's 15. And so,
Yep.
my thing is, hey, we're grading on experience. What are you grading on when you're playing up?
So meaningful losses is a real thing, and that's a phrase that I don't throw around lightly. Meaningful losses, and so we want to put ourselves in situations where the odds are stacked against us to push our kids to their boundaries, their limits. So I'm looking for effort. I
Okay.
want to see if you're gonna quit on me. If you quit on me, that's gonna tell me one thing: I can't give you a heart transplant.
Facts.
So, but if you play as hard as you can, leave it on the floor, and it's still not enough, to me, that's a win. To me, that is a win and a meaningful loss because I watched you push yourself almost to an out of body experience, like until exhaustion, until you leave it all out there, and we don't have to to really do that often. So when we get the opportunity to, it's huge for us. And I
Gotcha.
prepared my parents for that in the beginning. I let them know like we're going for it.
Nice.
We're going for it. So they probably tired of winning by 40.
Right. Yeah.
So
Because at a certain point, you feel like your child isn't being challenged enough. Like I just talked with the parent about rec ball and
yep,
how it's not enough competition and getting over the AAU. So we
yep.
got to get out of here, man. That's just
Yes, we
about our
do.
time. But before we do, you got any shout outs you want to give? I know we got partners, we got
Yeah,
sponsors.
yeah. Shout out to Level Up all day, health and wellness. Um, I want to send a lot of love to Basketball City and MWA, man. Uh, my man Ben Weeks been taking care of us for weeks. He just, it's a place I grew up in playing when I was a young kid, and so it's an honor and a privilege to be able to hold our practices there, man. So shout out to Ben, making sure that, and he oversee all the referees, and so
Nice.
this is not me trying to sway you in any kind of way, Ben, but I just want to send some love out to you on this one, dog. Matter of fact, I got to pay you for the night. I'm about to
Right,
do that
right.
right now. I'm
Trying to
about to
get a
pay
few
you
trying to get a few calls to go your way, Coach. Well, look, man, that's it for
whatever
us,
it takes.
man. Checking in with Coach T. I'm Marcel
Yep,
B, the MC. Coach T with Motown Magic. It's gonna be a great
yep,
weekend, man. We're gonna keep turning up. We'll see y'all
yep.
next time. Motown Madness, man. Peace.
Peace.
Motown Magic. Motown Magic.